Good morning. Yeah, I'm in an odd position because I came out. The sun's already out. I've been doing a few things here, and this is the beginning of the garden diaries for this week. And I've already done a few things, and I'll show you in a moment. But first, I'm going to try to create some shade for my strawberries and whatever I'm going to put in the middle and the ginger. I didn't cover the ginger last year. It still did well, but I think it'll do better if it has some shade. So let's work on that now. Okay, you all, so this is what the shade is looking like. And the way the sun is coming in right now is kind of perfect because the plants will still get some sun. And then when the heat of the afternoon comes in, it'll be shaded. So that makes like a perfect growing spot. Now I think I might put my mustard greens over here. I'm gonna have to think about that. I'll give you a closer look of what I've done. Y'all, these are stair railings, which are kind of the cheapest pieces of wood that you can purchase. And I've had these for a few years actually. And I just zip tied them to my cement trays here, which are very sturdy, and I've had those for like 3 years here, and they are perfect. And if you watch my haul, you know I got these very sturdy clips, and these are some good clips for these ties because these ties are really big, so you can't get small clips. So these are large and they fit good. This sheet came from the dollar store. I cut it in half, so I think it may have been a queen size, maybe a twin size. You know, you can get a sheet that works for you. And I know it may only last for one season, but that's okay. It was pretty inexpensive, so I don't mind it getting blasted by the sun. Here's something else that I kind of put together as a test. Y'all know me. And this is actually, we have 2 grow bags, and I have some ladder mesh going over. It's actually 2 pieces of ladder mesh that are zip tied together. And what I plan on doing is putting something vining in here. Yeah, I can't even see the camera because it's so sunny, but I hope you can see me pointing. But I'm gonna put something vining that goes over here that will create some shade. And then these are the vertical planters that I got from Aldi's. And y'all, they're pretty big. I just shoved one of my dahlias in here. I know it needs shade, so I put it in here as a test because that's what I do. And I feel like this will be a really pretty place to plant things, even though it's in front of my pallet garden. That's okay. That adds a nice little backdrop. And of course I use a piece of the sheet because y'all had a fitted sheet and a flat sheet. So I have plenty of sheet and more to go around in the garden for some shade. And this is also a little bit of a sun test as well. It is about, I want to say almost 11 o'clock. So that dahlia is getting some hit with some good sun, even though it has some shade on here. So we'll see how it does throughout the day. I'm not going to move it. And if it can take the sun here, then that's great. I'll keep this up here until I find something that will vine over, and then I'll plant into those. And I still have plenty of room on my walkway to get my wagon through, because that's kind of the kicker. Y'all had this wonderful cauliflower crusted pizza from Aldi's yesterday. It was delicious. And the nice thing about their packaging is it's all cardboard. There's no tape on it. There's no plastic. And that's kind of my trash heap right now. And yes, I did put my creamer bottles in there. I don't know if they're gonna stay. I am still putting the screws in here, so, but the mosquitoes have just been ferocious. So, maybe I'll finish that up today. I don't know. Y'all, this bed is so big. I still don't know what I'm gonna put in here. I have to say, well, this year, I have more space to grow stuff than I know what to do with. Part of the reason is I've added some additional container space. I've used some ground space, which I've never done in the past. And also I'm not growing tomatoes. So I have to figure out where I'm going to grow tomatoes when I do grow tomatoes. So I don't know. Hi, how you doing? So I do not know. I'm still thinking on that one. So of course, you know, I have all day that I can work in the garden today, and I did. So I came back out here and I did a few more things. So let's see what we did. We made a little label. Can you see that? Strawberries. I also made a mustard green habitat. And I had to spray BT because one of my plants was getting ate up. So I'm sure it was an army worm hiding away, because that's what they do. Y'all look, my calendulas are coming up. Y'all see that little thing sticking out? That's a runner. And it is very early for strawberry runners, but I'm happy about that. I'm keeping my eye on you. So I showed y'all earlier, we got temporary, well, maybe temporary, maybe permanent shade on some select spots. I also planted some more okra. So I put okra in this pot here and this pot down here. So last year I grew them in a pot by themselves. Well, I grew them in bricks by themselves, but I have a lot of okra plants and no place to put them. So I put 2 in each one of these, and we'll see how they grow. I spy with my eye tendrils on the Wonder Twins. Yay! Y'all, I also spy sun damage. Okay, this is a pumpkin. I'm not gonna try to cover him up. They're looking pretty good. Y'all, I'm keeping a close eye on those pumpkins because I know the pumpkins, they're survivors. But in order for them to survive, they need to be running on the ground so that they can, you know, plant wherever they land. But in this case, I don't know how that's going to work out. So I've been keeping my eye open for that which should not be mentioned, that loves those type of plants. I also really need to harvest that guy right there. Look at him. Raptor alert. And these guys have been out in the sun today and they're doing really good. These are some dahlias and marigold. I know the marigold could take it, but the dahlias, not so much. I spy powdery mildew because it's been raining like crazy, so I'm gonna need to do something about that. That is a note to self. Y'all, also had this dahlia here and it looked like it did pretty good in this spot, so I might let it stay. I need to do something about this tree because it's driving me crazy. I think I'm gonna have to put some hems in these pieces of fabric that I put out here. Y'all, I'm trying to figure out what that orange spot is. I think a bee pooped on my sunflowers. I don't know what that guy is. Y'all can't get close enough to him to show him, but he's on the move. So that's the extent of my work day in the garden for today. I'm overdone. So I'll see you all on the next clip. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all, it's another day in the Garden Diaries, and it's actually Thursday today. So it's been a few days again since I've recorded. Now, I am in my kitchen actually. I'm getting ready to go and get an oil change, but I'll actually get my tire changed, not oil change. But I am starting to finally process the ginger that I took out, and I'm going to show you all what I harvested. And again, this ginger probably was in the ground for like 10 months. And it's been in my refrigerator for a few weeks. So I'm finally processing it so that it can go into the freezer, so I won't lose it and I'll be able to use it. So here's what it looks like. So this is what it's looking like. I have a whole pile of ginger, and I will say that it kind of shrank down just a little bit because it's been in the refrigerator for, like I said, a few weeks. And so you can see it looks good. Some of it I put back in the ground so it can regrow. It's still very nice pieces of ginger, and you can see I broke a piece off because I'm really trying to wash in these little crevices and everything. But y'all, this is what it's looking like. So not huge pieces, but y'all, this is like, it probably would take me like 3 years to use this ginger, and I'm growing some more. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Saturday, and this is going to be the last day for the Garden Diaries for this week. I feel like the Garden Diaries will be short this week because I just haven't been out here this week. But I have a lot of stuff to do today, so I brought everything out with me. But before we get started, let's go through the garden and see some things that I need to point out for my journal. First of all, let's say good morning to these beautiful buttercups. They look so happy. Y'all, I'm looking at this purslane, and I think I'm gonna pick some and try to eat it today. Also, my sweet alyssum is looking pretty nice. Y'all been trying to grow sweet alyssum for a few years from seeds, and I finally did it. Y'all, my bell peppers are looking pretty good. I've been checking them for blossom end rot. Got this little baby. I did treat a few plants for the blossom end rot, so we're gonna see if it worked. Here's a nice big one. I did not treat this plant because I think this one's doing okay. Y'all, look at these coluses. These are the ones that I chopped back. They're fantastic. Look at all that. Good morning. And good morning. Let's give our eggplants a little shakety shake. We need eggplants. Y'all, I think eggplant is going to be my favorite vegetable this year. I only put in one plant, so hopefully we'll get many. I've already eaten all that have come off of this plant, so I think that's a win. Y'all, this is my cucumber plant. I feel like these leaves kind of grew overnight, and there's some more cucumbers below, so I hope they get enough sunlight. Also, y'all, look at this basil. It's beautiful. Now, every morning I come and I look at the base of the Wonder Twins, because y'all, I don't want them to get taken out. We are looking for some babies on these watermelons. They got beautiful male plants. Of course, the guys will always show up first to the club. Leaves tried to rot away. Gotta keep an eye on this plant. Y'all, look, my first bean. And I think this is an asparagus bean because I don't have any other beans on this side of the trellis. So yay for that. The old homesteads need to catch up. Now, my strawberries are running like crazy. I'm gonna let them come over to this bed. I decided I'm gonna let this bed be a strawberry bed as well. I was gonna put the strawberries someplace else, but I was like, you know what? They'll be easier to manage if they're all together. So I'm gonna put the runners over here. And also, y'all look, that's a coleus. How did a coleus get way over here in the strawberry bed? I'm gonna let it grow a little bit more, and then I'm gonna take it out and put it someplace else. And more runners, yay. And my loofah has a tendril. Go loofah, go. Y'all, these are doing way better than I thought they would be doing. These are my calendulas. Yay, let's give it a turn so everything can get some sunlight. So now it's time for me to get to work. Y'all got a lot of stuff I want to do, but I think I'm gonna put the timer on, and I'm just gonna stay out for that amount of time, which maybe 3 hours, and then that's it. If it doesn't rain. I don't think it's supposed to rain. It's just really cloudy today, so we'll see. Y'all like my Marge Simpson look? It's quite becoming of me, isn't it? Okay, y'all, it has been 4 hours since I last did some recording here, and I have done a lot. And I always try to do a lot on Saturday because that's the day when I can kind of slow garden and I don't have to rush. But it is going to rain today, and I am kind of tired and I need a drink, and so I'm just going to show you, or show me, because y'all know this is part of the garden diaries, what's been done today. So I cleared out this area today, which is the Eden trellis, and I did open these guys up and take a peek. I gave everything in the garden that's food. I gave it some food today, so yay for that. So we'll see how things grow, but for the most part, it was too much stuff in here, so I had to clear it out. I also haven't really given any thought to my Malabar spinach. I'm gonna need to eat some of this. I haven't tasted it just yet. I started growing it last year and it really needed to be topped off with dirt, but it was already growing like this before I could do that, so I'm just gonna let it be. And these two guys, we have some nasturtiums, and I'm gonna put those in some shady area, but for now, I'm gonna leave them out in the sun until they start peeking their beautiful little heads up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the shade, because I really want some nasturtiums, but here, they will burn to a crisp. I also put up some of my fun decorations because I live the boho garden decoration life. Y'all, look at one of the twins. He is getting it. I need to get him back up. Well, maybe I don't have to get him on the trellis. He'll probably do it himself. Okay, this is a bit of an experiment. I put up kind of a little sale for my cucumbers because, y'all, something that I haven't thought about, I don't know why, is that when the heat of the summer comes in, the cucumbers are going to be super bitter. And so, yeah. So I put up a sale because the cucumbers are starting to get it now. They haven't started producing their blooms yet, but I don't know. There's just one issue, and that is my eggplant. I don't know if it can, if it's gonna be a good producer being in here in the shade. I don't know. I know when I did try to grow the eggplants that they burnt up in the sun. So, you know, I'm just gonna let it roll like this and see what happens. But, you know, look at my cucumbers. They're looking really beautiful. So I don't want the sun to kill them. Also, look at those potatoes getting it. So I harvested my mint, and my mint is being hit with some leaf miners, but I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I did spray this plant already. I also worked on my walkway, which is a Bohemian mosaic. That's what I'm calling it. It might be a real thing, you know, in my Bohemian garden. Here's some of the colices I moved out. So they're gonna be getting sun, but I think they'll be fine. I don't know if I said already, but I replanted the dahlia, and I just stuck it on top of these empties for now, just so it can have some shade. But this is actually a new bloom. I deadheaded it this morning and it's looking fantastic. I also gave my little pepper babies, well, in the dirt, I gave them some calcium. So we're gonna see if they're gonna be okay. Actually, it was garden lime, and that has calcium in it. I deadheaded my miniature roses and I refreshed their pots. And these roses as well, I finally got to them. I gave them some granulated fertilizer for roses, and I topped them with, thank you, Mr. AC. I topped these with some mushroom compost and gave them some granulated fertilizer, and then I put some fresh mulch on top of those, and I did some weeding because, you know, the weeds, they be trying to take over. Note to self, I still need to look back and see if these roses made these wonderful leaves last year, because they're so pretty. And note to self, I need to still do my buttercups. They need to be refreshed. They're doing fine, but you know, I think they would do even better if they had a little help. Now, I almost forgot that I wanted to chop my moringa tree. Just wanted to kind of, it had this big stem at the top that's pretty much dead. But y'all, if you have a sturdy stem like this or twig, keep it, because you can use this for something else in your garden, I assure you. The sun is out and Bubbles is a-going. Y'all, I love my fountain so much. All right, my garden friends, this marks the end of the garden diaries for this week. Hopefully I can get this posted up really soon. It's time for me to head in. If you haven't already given this video a thumbs up, shame on you. Especially if you got this far. And also, if you haven't subscribed already, shame on you again. So I will see you all on the garden tour next. All right, y'all, bye.